I've made the boxes, and this would be the base entrance on that side where you see the 1-inch thickness board, and it's slanted because bees don't fly in a horizontal manner. They're sort of like tilted at an inclination of maybe 7 degrees from the horizontal or something like that. And when they land, they be coming from this side and they land on the pad. Their legs are full of honey and stuff. And if they would land in a horizontal fashion, you probably lose a lot of honey. But I read somewhere where your entrance should have a slant to it. And that would be the base. This 3-inch wide piece here is, there's going to be a screen that I can slide out to check for mites. And underneath that, I'm going to put a solid piece of 1/4-inch plywood that I can slide out for summertime. So you can let air through the hive when it gets too hot. But when it starts getting cold, you put that plywood back in there, so that way the hive is sealed off from the cold. The first one with the screen, what you do is you make like a frame, like a frame with 4 corners of 45 degrees, and you just you tack on a screen in the middle of it, so when your bees have, if they have mites or something, they're gonna fall on the screen, and you want to be able to remove that screen to check for mites. So that's what I'm gonna start building next. Yeah, so let's get on with it. Base lumber for that screen box. The lumber does not seem to be, it's rough lumber. It was resawed in half, and that's why I'm getting dimensions that are not of equal proportion. So I'm gonna put this through the planer to make sure I have dimensional lumber, square lumber, and after that I'm gonna cut the ridges so I can make the slots for the to slide in and out those panels and screens. as according to the plan, these are my sides. This is the box where it's going to contain the screen and the pull-out panel. So in the summertime, you pull out the panel, there's a screen, bugs and stuff can't get at your bees because there's a screen there. And in the wintertime, so they don't freeze, you just push your panel back in. And one side of this has to have a 3/4 inch notch in the side pieces and the bottom. Even though this is an inch and I go in an inch, what I'm going to do is make a square bar which is 3/4 of an inch high, which is the width of this slot here. I'm going to make in this piece of wood, and that wood I'm going to be able to flip it over on one side or the other. Now, as long as I have my 3/8 of an inch bee gap, I know a bee can get in and out. So that won't permit certain things to get in. It won't stop hornets, unfortunately, but it'll stop other things, other bugs that might want to get in. And if I have a slot this long, that beehive has full access in and out. If I wanted to curb the amount of bees coming in and out, I cut a slot an inch wide, 3/8 high. So there's an air gap in and out. That's what you use in the winter time. And in the summertime, you leave that gap on the wide side of the bar. So you flip it on one side, you got a wide gap. You flip it on the other, you got a narrow gap. And what I'm going to do next is narrow this down by 3/4 of an inch and actually cut a 3/4 of an inch notch in the side of this wood. In the bandsaw. So I'm going to do that on either side, and that 3/4 piece is going to come like maybe around here. So I can flip it either side, so I can limit the in and out movement of the bees. So I'm going to do this right away. I am now going to be cutting out the slots for the tangs from the foundation material to hang on in the box. Right, so I'm going to cut in here a 1/4 deep and 1/4 wide groove. It's going to be like a frame with a piece of 1/4 inch plywood inside, and on that plywood if this is too close, I apologize. But that's going to be the shape of the framing that goes around that clean extractor. I have some leftover material here that I'm going to use to actually make that screen. I'm going to have to find out what the dimensions are for that screen. And I'm going to find these dimensions off of the base plate. So 19.5 by 19 by 1/2 inch. Let's make that 3/8. The slot is 1/2 inch, so 7/16 of an inch. Okay.